hit the Zoom. The blue Zoom thing at the bottom. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome. It's a lovely Shabbat this evening. Thank goodness for the rain. We are going to begin our Shabbat worship this evening on page 13. Page 13, page 131 in the big book, the Shabbat Weekday Festival Prayer Book. Shiru Ladonai. Okay, here we go. Page 13, 131.
Got your guitar back.
I did, yeah. Finally. Right. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. We turn to page 2 and 3, pages 120 and 121 in the big book. Who would like to light the Shabbat candles this evening? Since you're all jumping at once, I'll do it. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We're going to continue on page 9, page 127 in the big book. Let's read together at the bottom of the page. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. We continue with Lecha Dodi. You will find it on page 20, page 138 in the big book. kabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzola tochem lunei am segula. Boi chala lecha dodi likra kala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala lenei Shabbat nekabela. I got an from outside the prayer book by Rabbi Karen Kadar. God speaks in whispers, silent brushes of wind, moments that implore you to take notice. There is so much that I do not understand. How to sing when I am choking, how to forget, how to remember, how to discern the blessing within the pain, how to heal so that I may hold on to greatness and grandeur. Rather, I wish for softness and stillness, for the relinquishment of all that no longer matters. I wish for goodness to linger like the scent of jasmine on a hot summer day. It's enough already. It's enough resenting people and circumstances so far away that even the scars have dulled with age. Out there, beyond my small self, is vastness and forgiveness and fortitude and love. I long to fall gently into the arms of a loving world. God speaks in whispers, silent brushes of wind, and moments that implore you to take notice. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 26, 144. Hikatav hikadash meraba, ve'amad yivrach yirutev yamlich lachutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uchayetecho beit Yisrael, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'imiru, amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach, le'alam li'amei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha brichu, leila min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechema da'amira. Amen. We turn to page 28, page 146 in the big book. As able, we rise for the Baruch Hu. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Baruch Hu et Adonai. Amen. Turn to page 30, page 148. Let's read together in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishana itim, umachalif et hazmanim, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני. Hama'ariv, let's read responsively. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol.
All these things your Torah gives to us.
And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be a truer token of your abiding love
than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34, 152. Let's continue together with Be'ahavta on page 36, 154. Be'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha b'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshartam leot ayadecha, v'hayu letotafot pein einecha. Uchtavtam mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeru vasitem ekol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher Hotzei Tiechem, Le'eretz Mitzrayim, Yot Lachem, Le'Elohim, Ani, Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Amen. Page 4. Standing on the parted shores of his, sing the song of men and women, join in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Michamocha is on page 40, 158. Yeah, la 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 נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Page 43, 161 at the top of the page. Let's read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace, rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, 162. That doesn't sound right. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. 46, page 164 in the big book. As able, we rise for the tefillah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'Ma'an Shemo Be'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atarav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashet, Mechayei hakol be'ra. ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. ניחמוך בעל גבורות, ומג'ו מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Okay. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We are seated. Turn to page 59. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lechana lehodot. On page 61, we join together in our prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We take a moment for silent reflection and prayer using the words on the next few pages or those that flow from our hearts. For those of you on Zoom, I just put the Shabbat bulletin in the chat. I apologize for not doing it sooner. Do we have any Bob Marley fans in here? Yeah? All right, you're going to recognize this. We haven't done this before here, but we're going to. You're going to recognize this. I apologize for not putting the words in the bulletin. I had printed it already. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept as we remembered Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept as we remembered Zion. when the wicked carry us away in captivity, required of us a song. How can we sing the Lord's sweet song in a strange land? So let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight, Adonai. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept as we remembered Zion. When the wicked carry us away in captivity, required from us a song. How can we sing the Lord's sweet song in a strange land? So let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight, Adonai. I don't think we have any birthdays tonight that are here. So we're going to continue with the Misha Berach on page 253, page 371 in the big book. Yehiyu, Misha Berach Avotenu ve'imotenu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. Patty Baker, April Bell, Elaine Boschnack, Bruce Dalby, Bryant Dalby, Nell Dalby, Carolyn Dowlin, Stuart Dowlin, Dolores Ettinger, Barbara Frisbee, Deborah Guzman, Irene Heichman, Rick Kramer, Mary Krause, Pastor Sandra Lifesti, Linda Manning, Robert Manning, Dennis Martin, September McLeod, Kat Medeiros Oropeza, Carol Miller, Steve Oropeza, James Phillips, Joe Robley, Pamela Roberto, Shimshon Ben Abraham V'Sarah, Bethany Sellers, Mike Stern, Katie Trujillo, Karen Usatine, Marvin Zimmerman. Is there anybody else that we are praying for healing for this Shabbat?
Jennifer Aarons, Bill Grimm, and Greg Dennis.
Thank you. Anybody on Zoom? Eileen?
Jerry Grant and Ronnie Ames. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you. Anybody else on Zoom? For those we named and those we name in our hearts, we continue. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem L'Ravotam Ul'Hachalitmam Ul'Hachazikam V'Yishlach Lahem Behira Refuah Shlema Min Hashamayim Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf Hashtab Yagala Bizman Kariv V'Nomar Amen. We continue with the Misha Berach that we sing together in the middle of the page. Sorry, my book is folded off. Abraham wait for the slideshow.
Okay, starting where again? Zoom?
Nope. Share.
Share like. And
And start slideshow.
Start.
Yep. All right, so I promised you something a little different tonight. Yesterday was a relatively new Israeli national holiday called Sighet, which originated with the Ethiopian Jews, most of whom now live in Israel. Outside of Israel, it's not particularly well known, although its celebration is growing around the world, much like Juneteenth in the United States. There are two things that are important to know about the Ethiopian Jews. The first is that until modern times, Ethiopian Jews, who are also called Beta Yisrael, they used to be called Falasha, but that's a word that means stranger, and they are obviously no longer strangers. So Beta Yisrael, House of Israel, were isolated from other Jewish communities around the world. They broke away from so-called mainstream Judaism prior to the writing of the Talmud, which gave us, the Talmud gave us the Judaism we now know and observe. So they were even considered for a number of years as the lost tribe. Since they didn't know about the Talmud, they observed Judaism strictly according to the Torah. The second thing is that they were often isolated from their Christian and Muslim neighbors, and they often faced discrimination and oppression. The Beta Yisrael celebrated Sighet to unify their community during difficult times. For one day, everyone came together to remember their dream of someday returning to the holy city of Jerusalem. So what is Sighet? Sighet is a Jewish holiday that is celebrated 50 days after Yom Kippur in the late fall. Today, it serves as a celebration of the arrival of Ethiopian Jews in Israel. However, before Ethiopian Jews emigrated to Israel, Sighet was the time when they expressed their desire to one day live there. In Ethiopia, the Beta Yisrael celebrated most Jewish holidays at home or in their village. Sighet was so important, however, that it was a pilgrimage holiday, meaning that Beta Yisrael traveled from all over the region to celebrate it together as a people. They gathered in the Jewish village of Ambover, which was near the region's highest mountains. The night before Sighet, they said special prayers. They also prepared food to get ready for the special feast that takes place when Sighet's fast is over. Sighet began when the gathered community started to climb the high mountain. Everyone climbed, even children. Just as Moses went up to Mount Sinai to directly receive the Ten Commandment action with God in a holy place. In Ethiopian culture, beautiful umbrellas were used to shelter important people like emperors and public officials from the sun. This made it very clear that these people were worthy of great respect. So the priests of Beta Yisrael, called the Kesim, carried large, colorful umbrellas to protect the Torah as they ascended the mountain. This showed the respect the Beta Yisrael had for the Torah as well as for the Kesim. At the top of the mountain, the Kesim, still sheltered by umbrellas, read their Torah, which they called the Orit, which means light. Their Torah was not written in Hebrew, but in a language called Ge'ez. They read prayers that celebrated the hope that they would one day return to Jerusalem. Sighet was also a time when the community prayed for forgiveness from God for any wrongs they had committed in the past year. When they prayed, they prostrated themselves on the ground to show their humility before God. In Amharic, which is their everyday language, Sighet means to prostrate, hence the name of the holiday. After the community had prostrated themselves, the Kesim blew the shofar, and the people recited a special prayer. Just as we have merited the celebrating the holiday this year, so may we merit celebrating it next year in Jerusalem. After this, it was time to come down from the mountain and celebrate. Traditionally, to break the fast, they might eat traditional Ethiopian foods in injera, which was a flat bread, and rat, which is a thick stew. And Sigid would not be complete without dancing and singing. Over time, the Beitai Yisrael had more and more contact with Jews around the world. When famine and civil war came to Ethiopia, the Beitai Yisrael made the decision to flee to a neighboring country, Sudan, hoping to make their way to Israel. After so many years of praying and with Israel's help, thousands of Ethiopian Jews secretly flew to Israel from Sudan. The promise of Sigid was fulfilled. Now that most Beitai Yisrael live in Israel, Sigid is different but equally special. Sigid is still a pilgrimage holiday, but now instead of traveling to the highest mountain, many Ethiopian Jews gather in Jerusalem on the Armon HaNatzif promenade, which is high enough to show views of the old Jerusalem. The Kassim still stand under the colorful umbrellas that continue to be a sign of respect. When the Beitai Yisrael arrived in Israel, Sigid was unknown by the general Israeli population. However, in 2008, Sigid was made a national holiday. This gives the opportunity for all Jews in Israel to learn about and celebrate Sigid. Sigdiyada, a festival created by Ethiopian Jews in Israel, is a new way that Israelis are learning about Sigid. Its goal is to celebrate Ethiopian Israeli arts, culture, and history with live music, art exhibits, and lots of Ethiopian food. By now, an entire generation of Ethiopians have never celebrated Sigid at the top of high mountains and did not make the difficult journey from Ethiopia to Jerusalem. They are Ethiopian Jews who were born in Israel and are Israeli citizens. Sigid and Sigdiyada offer them the opportunity to learn their community's history and share their pride in who they are. One thing about Sigid has not changed. Just as in Ethiopia, after the service, it's time to eat, dance, and sing. With new traditions like Sigdiyada, Sigid becomes a celebration of the story of the Beitai Yisrael and the many great things they brought to Israel when they made Aliyah. You hit escape. Escape. Top left. Escape.
And show?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now stop sharing. The red button.
No, it says, okay, got you.
Oh, the red button on the
Oh,
bar.
I see, stop share. Gotcha.
Okay.
Very good.
If anybody has questions, I will try to answer them.
It's fascinating, actually.
It really is. On my first trip to Israel, 1986, it was, I think it was before Operation Solomon, which is when many of the Ethiopian Jews came over. There were two separate occasions, but we visited a resettlement camp where the Ethiopian Jews that had arrived in Israel already were learning Hebrew, they were beginning to assimilate into Israeli culture, learn how to be Jewish in a very different way. Of course, because they didn't have the Talmud, they didn't even know it existed until they left Ethiopia and went to Israel. There was something else I was going to. I lost it. It'll come back to me at some point.
Well, I remember at our synagogue, and within we grew up conservative Jews, and there was a huge fundraising effort that went on, and the communities, and subsequently, as a token of what you had contributed, came a wooden box with a bowl that they had created, and with a little plaque on it, and it was encased in glass, and so that it could be displayed at the congregation for what we had done and how we had raised money for them.
I remember what I was going to say. Because they didn't have the Talmud, and they didn't follow certain traditions. When they first arrived in Israel, there was a big controversy about would they be recognized as Jews. And it took a while, but eventually the Orthodox rabbinate in Israel decided that they would be recognized as Jews, and that other Ethiopian Jews that were born in Israel would then follow Israeli. So it was a little bit of a compromise, but they were fully recognized as Israeli citizens and Jews.
I'm curious, I mean, I'm not sure if your research showed this, but were they readily accepted by the Israeli people?
Not at
No,
first.
no.
Not at first. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of racism in Israel.
I guess that's where my question is.
Yeah, there's a lot of racism against Ethiopian Jews, against Eastern Jews. Yeah, Mizrach, they call them Mizrahi, Eastern, from Asia, essentially.
There's also a musical group from Boston that Lisa and I know well, called Safam, and they wrote a song about the Ethiopian Jews and Falasha no more, right, once they made the trip from Ethiopia to Israel. And again, they were discriminated against as a group because, who are these people? We don't know these people. And, obviously eventually they came around, but yeah, it was hateful, what they did and how they treated them, and,
Are they only contained in that settlement?
No, that was just, so everybody, when if they immigrate to Israel, goes through resettlement. And the resettlement villages now are much better. They are much more modern, and I think because so many of them came at one time, the regular resettlement villages couldn't handle that many, and so they built these camps, which were able to handle them. But yeah, it's the as time has gone on and they've really become a fixture in Israel, they all serve in the army just like any other Israeli citizen. They participate in every aspect of Israeli life. They've been accepted more and more, but it was not easy at the beginning, for sure. All right, we have some announcements. Join us tonight for our no-host dinner at Amen Cafe. The address is in the bulletin. Can I see who's planning on going tonight? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Beginning and intermediate Hebrew reading begins on December 2nd. Introduction to Judaism begins on December 4th. If you have not registered and you want to take the classes, please sign up quickly. The Hebrew reading classes have very, very low registration at this point. It's a question as to whether there are going to be enough people for the class to go. So if you're planning on signing up, please do it soon. Join with us and the Jewish community in House of Prayer, Lutheran Church, and also Sion Church is joining us as well in donating non-perishable food items to support the San Antonio Food Bank now through December 31st. The government shutdown caused a real increased need, and that need has not subsided yet. They expect it will continue through the holidays, so if you can support either through food donations or through writing a check to San Antonio Food Bank, and we'll be happy to deliver it on your behalf. If you donate during November, your gift will be matched. Join the Congregation Shalom Mahjong Club on Sunday, November 23rd at 1:30 p.m. Get in touch with Andrea or Sandra for more information. I think it may be too late to sign up for the Shine a Light Shabbat newsletter. Give it a try, and they'll let you know if you can still do it. There will be a service that night. It will be lay-led, as I will be hosting our intro students for Shabbat dinner at our house. And I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Get ready for Hanukkah. Hanukkah's coming. And the sign-up for the Hanukkah party was in this week's newsletter, and you can also find it on the homepage of our website to sign up.
Which day will we be doing it?
It is
Friday the 19th.
Friday the 19th, yes.
Not the beginning of it.
Yeah, the very, yeah.
And
I'll be back.
All right. We are going to continue with the concluding portion of our service, beginning with Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 283, 587 in the big book, continuing on to 287, 591, as Abel revised. Aleinu L'Shabeach La'adon HaKol, La'tet Gedula Liotzer Breshit, Shehu Samchokenu Liached et Shemo, V'gor Aleinu Lehamlich Malchuto, Va'anavnu Korim, Umishtachavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech, Mochei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Yehieh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. Page 295, 599 in the big book. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat, we remember Barbara Kling, cousin of Eileen Callahan, who is in the period of Shiva, 7 days since her death. We also observe in the period of Shloshim, 30 days since their passing, Gail Zimmerman, friend of Sue Weintraub, Ari Zalmanowicz, Santaya Haraser, Eliyahu Margalit, Yaniv Kula, Itai Yavetz, Asaf Hamami, Oz Daniel, Omer Nutra, Itai Chain, Joshua Molel, Har Goldin, Lior Rudev, Meni Godard. We also remember John Dickey, father-in-law of Rob Salzman, whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of his death, is observed this Shabbat. Is there anybody else observing a yahrzeit or remembering somebody for Kaddish? Anybody on Zoom? We remember 10 people who perished in the Holocaust: Leah Steinmetz, Charlotte Lohnberg, Ferenc Mandel, Yolanda Leibovitz, Esther Press, Saral Simon, Amelia Mandel, Sarah Trachtenberg, Moshe Beg, Joseph Hollander. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for blessing as we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294, 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei. V'chaye chon uvyomei chon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'alam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, huya aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the high places help us to make peace here on earth and send peace to all who are bereaved as we say, amen. Please be seated. We are going to conclude appropriately with Am Yisrael Chai. So this was written by Noam Katz, who spent time with the Jews in the Abu Daya region, which is in Ethiopia. And you'll find it sort of on page 338, 642 in the big book, right in the middle of the page, except that the custom in Amharic is that they add a vowel sound. Every word ends in a vowel sound. So instead of Am Yisrael Chai, it's Am Yisrael Chai. Okay? And Ode Avinu Chai. I've taught this before, so you should know it. Just remember to clap. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Who would like to lead us in the Kiddush this evening?
Pass out the drink before he sings.
Sounds good.
Which one's which, Rabbi?
White is juice,
Correct.
red is wine. Thank you. Oh, whoops. Pumpkin spice chocolate chip.
These are taller cups.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, I was too lazy to find the other ones, and these were out in the open. I said, all right, they'll work.
This is a two-swallow cup.
If you'd like to follow along, you'll find the Kiddush on page 5, 123 in the big book.
Nice. There you go. All right, everybody got it? Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei bari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kadsho b'ahava uvratzon Hilanu Zikahu Yom Techila Lemikra Kodesh Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim Kivanu Vacharta Viotanu Kidashta Mikol Hamim V'Shabbat Kadshecha B'Yava Uvratzon Inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
This is much better.
This is really good, actually.
Pretty swell.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Maureen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz b'tei Aaron.
Is that chocolate chip?
It is pumpkin spice chocolate chip.
That's exactly what I asked her as soon as I sat down.
She only pulls that one out on special occasions. I think that and the rainbow one you did was one of my favorites.
I love doing it, so it's a lot of pachkian, so I have to have time to do it. All right.
That was a little bit of sweet.
Good, just take this off. Oh, did you take this off? Okay.